In their eyes, Wang Lin had spent most of the day either strolling or standing by the river, lost in thought. The sky was already dark, yet he continued to walk at a leisurely pace. In the night, Hong City was aglow with lights, resembling a city that never slept. Wang Lin walked slowly, his gaze falling upon a stretch of rare, pitch-black buildings in Hong City, surrounded by an incredibly oppressive atmosphere. This aura was filled with death and resentment. That's Hong Prison, one of the 4 major prisons in the capital, a soldier behind Wang Lin murmured, following his gaze. Hong Prison, Wang Lin nodded slightly. It holds the most dangerous criminals. The place is heavily guarded, and without an entry token, you can't get in, the soldier explained. Wang Lin carefully observed Hong Prison. He had sensed several powerful demon auras emanating from there, as strong as Mo Lihai's. After pondering for a moment, Wang Lin headed toward Mo residence. Back at Mo residence, Wang Lin went straight to Mo Lihai's quarters. Mo Lihai was meditating, and when Wang Lin opened the door, he slowly opened his eyes. I'm going to Hong Prison. Do you have any ideas, Mo brother? Mo Lihai paused, glanced at Wang Lin, and after a moment of silence, replied, It's a bit difficult. Wang Lin furrowed his brow and said, In that case, forget it. Mo Lihai gave a slight smile and asked, How long do you plan to stay there? About a month, Wang Lin replied. Training. Mo Lihai's gaze sharpened as he asked. Wang Lin looked at him and nodded. I need to kill. If I do so here in Tianyao City, it might cause unnecessary trouble, he added, then quickly added. If I succeed, I'll be in a better position to help you. Mo Lihai stood up, staring at Wang Lin, and said slowly, Are you sure? Wang Lin didn't waste any words. With a flick of his hand, 5 beams of killing intent shot out from his fingers, forming 5 azure dragons that sped toward Mo Lihai like lightning. Mo Lihai laughed heartily, throwing a punch that shattered the 5 gray auras with a series of cracks. But his smile froze as he saw something odd. He took 3 steps back, and the scattered gray auras immediately reformed into 5 azure dragons, exuding a thick killing intent. In an instant, the entire room was enveloped in this killing aura, and the guards within Mo residence were alarmed and rushed to the scene. At the same time, the 5 streams of killing energy howled toward Mo Lihai. His eyes flashed, and he threw another punch. But the gray auras, faster than lightning, tore through the punch and headed straight for his chest. The killing aura was on the verge of reaching him, but just 7 inches from Mo Lihai, it was blocked by a silent, invisible barrier of demon power, forcing the aura to bounce back. Even so, the demon barrier in front of Mo Lihai shook violently. If this gray aura exceeded thousands, would you still be able to handle it so easily? Wang Lin said slowly. Mo Lihai's eyes lit up. He had seen killing intent before, but the power of this aura was far stronger than before. He quickly said, A month is too long. I can't manage it, but 7 days is no problem. There are tens of thousands of dangerous criminals in Hong Prison. 7 days will be enough for you to train. Wait for me. I'll give you an answer in 3 days. Wang Lin nodded and turned to leave the room. Mo Lihai, deep in thought, muttered to himself, This Wang Lin is indeed not to be underestimated. I was right to trade that life for his help. Not only does the imprint have great power, but the gray killing aura is extraordinary. These 5 auras haven't even reached their full potential, yet they can shake my demon armor, sharper than some demon swords. What's even more unsettling is that within these gray auras, there's a change I don't understand, one that even triggers life force within me. If these gray auras really form in the thousands, that would be terrifying. I'd better not make an enemy of Wang Lin and keep our current relationship intact. After a moment of reflection, he immediately left the room and rushed off to make arrangements for Wang Lin to enter Hong Prison. Wang Lin did not return to his room. Instead, he sat cross-legged in the courtyard. Though everything around him was quiet, the faint sound of zither music echoed in his ears. The music was delicate, with a unique charm, lingering in the air for a long time. That night, Wang Lin did not train, nor did he meditate or contemplate the slaughter immortal art. He simply sat quietly in the courtyard, silently watching the stars above, listening to the music in his heart. His figure cast a long shadow under the moonlight, looking especially desolate in the quiet courtyard. Alone, with a jar of fine wine from ancient Demon City beside him, Wang Lin occasionally took a sip, the loneliness slowly enveloping him. The desolation seemed to blend with the moonlight, pouring down on him, reflecting in his heart. At 16, Wang Lin began his pursuit of the Tao. By now, however, he had long forgotten the passing of years and could no longer recall the exact. Wang Lin took a large gulp from the wine jar, the liquid spilling from the corner of his mouth and dripping onto his collar. He gazed at the stars in the sky, a trace of solitude flickering in his eyes. Cultivators, walking against the heavens, are destined to be alone for their entire lives. The zither's melody was silent, yet Wang Lin could vaguely hear it. He wiped the wine from the corner of his mouth and murmured, "To live alone is to have a heart that seeks the Tao. But how many can truly savor this loneliness, just like this wine? It's sharp at first, but once it enters the stomach, it becomes a warm flow." Beneath the starlight and moonlight, a solitary figure drank alone, listening to the zither and contemplating life. I don't know how those who've cultivated for thousands of years have endured their solitude, but I do know that if one's heart remains unmoved, cultivation is nothing but a self-declared path, not the true path of the heavens. He paused. Heaven and earth are merciless. A cultivator walking against the heavens, if his heart is devoid of emotion, is still merciless. To cultivate the merciless path of heaven and earth with a heart devoid of compassion, how could that be called walking against the heavens? It is merely following the heavens. He closed his eyes. Since ancient times, those who follow the heavens are favored by the heavens, but behind this favor lies the body of an ant. My path is not one of following the heavens. It is to walk against the heavens with a heart moved by its own emotions. To defy both the heavens and the immortals, not only seeking immortality, but also to rid myself of the ant-like existence that comes with such favor. This is true defiance. Wang Lin drained the last of the wine, throwing the jar forward. It fell to the ground with a crash. He touched his brow, leaned against the side, and the desolation in his eyes gradually faded. The moonlight deepened slowly, like sand slipping through fingers, slowly drifting away. When the first light of dawn broke, Wang Lin opened his eyes. That night, he had been drunk. Drunk on wine, drunk on the zither. When he awoke, everything from the previous day was deeply buried in his heart, sealed in a place beyond reach. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. During these 3 days, Wang Lin did not cultivate. Every morning, he left the Mo residence and sat by the river, waiting for the painted boat to pass by. The fleeting sound of the zither would echo. The sad melody of the zither flowed through his heart, passing through the sealed memories and entering the deepest parts of his soul. Listening to the zither, drinking the wine brought by the soldiers, Wang Lin was immersed in it, gaining new insights. The woman on the painted boat had no idea that for these 3 days, someone had been listening to her music so intently. She only knew that every time the boat passed by, the sadness in her heart deepened. This sadness flowed through her jade hands and into the zither strings, gently being plucked. In these 3 days, Wang Lin lived peacefully, far removed from all conflicts and violence, forgetting the danger from Tua's son, the appointment with Mo Lihai, and even his own expectations for the competition for the crown. He had the zither music surrounding him and wine to keep him company. For 3 days, he experienced a brief purification of the heart. The woman, he had never looked at her face directly. All he needed was a glimpse of her back, a touch of her zither music, and that was enough. Had it not been for Mo Lihai arranging his entry into the blood prison, Wang Lin might have continued sitting there, continuing his heart's cleansing. He didn't know how long he would stay, perhaps until the zither strings snapped or the music ceased. When he finally withdrew his attention from the music, Wang Lin stood up, glanced at the painted boat that was slowly drifting away, and turned to leave. At the moment he turned, the woman on the boat turned her head, looking toward the distant river. There was only darkness before her eyes, but this time, the figure of the man leaving appeared before her once more. "Ming Xian, what are you looking at?" A calm voice came from beside her. The zither sound abruptly stopped. The woman turned her head and slowly lowered it. Her jade hand resting on the zither strings trembled lightly. This voice, to her, represented the heavens, an inescapable fate. Your music is too sorrowful. The guest wants you to change it. The voice, though calm, carried an undeniable authority. The woman fell silent. With her trembling jade hand, she plucked the strings. The melody changed, becoming as bright as spring, a lively tune flowing from the zither, gently drifting across the painted boat and the little river. Very well, play like this from now on. The same voice spoke again. The lively zither music spread out, but if one listened closely, it was clear that beneath the cheerfulness, it was a silent weeping. This weeping contained sorrow and pain. If it could be described in 4 words, it would be forced cheer. As the music flowed, the laughter inside the painted boat slowly contrasted with it, yet the zither music never merged with the atmosphere inside. Behind that forced cheer, the bitterness flowed deeply, hidden within the music. Ming Xian knew that the sorrow in the zither music could not be understood by anyone. The music followed the boat, gradually drifting away. Only the ripples left by the boat remained on the surface of the river, slowly pushing toward the banks on either side. At midnight, a bright full moon hung in the sky, its light scattering across the earth like a layer of soft silk draped over celestial demon city. Outside Mo residence, 2 figures, resembling giant eagles, soared into the night. In the blink of an eye, they transformed into smoke and headed straight for the blood prison. Their speed was extraordinary as they leapt over various buildings and streets in vast city. A moment later, they arrived at the prison. From afar, the blood prison exuded a chilling atmosphere and an overwhelming aura of killing intent and resentment. It formed a demonic flame that burned fiercely in the night sky. Outside the prison, the 2 figures from Mo residence solidified. They were Mo Lihai and Wang Lin. As soon as they appeared, the massive black iron gate of the prison suddenly opened a small gap. A hunchbacked man with a sinister expression stepped out. He glanced at the 2, said nothing, and raised his hand in a gesture that signaled them to proceed. Wang Lin's gaze subtly shifted. The hunchbacked man, like Mo Lihai, was a late-stage infant metamorphosis cultivator, a level of cultivation that was considered extraordinary. Mo Lihai took a step forward and swiftly entered the gap in the iron door. Wang Lin followed closely behind, moving at a steady pace. Inside the prison, the hunchbacked man gave Wang Lin a careful look and said in a deep voice, "Is this the one brother Mo mentioned?" Mo Lihai nodded and replied, "Indeed. I leave everything to you, Brother Su." The man with the Su surname gave a slight nod. "Go ahead, I'll take him inside." Mo Lihai walked over to Wang Lin and whispered, "Take care, Wang. I hope you make great progress in your cultivation." With that, he stepped forward and disappeared in an instant. "What's your name?" Su asked, glancing at Wang Lin. "Wang Lin," Wang Lin replied calmly. Su said no more. He turned and began walking toward the depths of the blood prison. Wang Lin lifted his foot and followed, walking steadily without looking around. The deeper they went, the heavier the killing intent and resentment in the air became. Su seemed to relish this dark aura. As he secretly observed Wang Lin, he noticed that Wang Lin's expression remained unchanged, and he was slightly surprised. After a moment, he thought, this person must have some exceptional abilities to have been sent here by Mo Lihai, regardless of the cost. The blood prison was divided into 2 sections, the surface level and the underground. Su led Wang Lin down a long, eerie staircase into the lower levels of the prison. The walls were dotted with flickering eerie flames, adding to the oppressive atmosphere. At first, the surroundings were quiet, but as they descended, screams and roars began to echo from the depths. These sounds carried with them a powerful aura of killing and hatred, 10 times stronger than the atmosphere outside. Su deliberately slowed his pace and kept an eye on Wang Lin. He knew that the air in the blood prison was almost thick enough to become tangible. Even some demon generals of comparable strength would feel discomfort unless, like him, they had lived here for hundreds of years and had become accustomed to the aura through daily breathing exercises. The more Su observed, the more astonished he became. Wang Lin's expression remained perfectly calm, and it was clear he wasn't pretending. In fact, it seemed as though he was becoming one with the surroundings. Realizing this, Su quietly withdrew his earlier skepticism. He now understood that anyone who could endure the atmosphere here and choose to cultivate within the prison must possess remarkable abilities. If he continued to test him, it would be inappropriate. The staircase was long, and after a while, they reached the end. The area was dark and foreboding, resembling a massive cage that had been divided into thousands of individual cells. The sounds of roars, curses, and violent shouting reverberated through the air. The noise was so intense that ordinary people would likely be stunned by the volume. Su, having grown accustomed to everything here, coldly commanded, "Quiet." The cacophony immediately ceased, replaced by a heavy, oppressive silence. At the end of the corridor stood a black building. Su paused in front of it, gave Wang Lin a final scrutinizing glance, and then smiled. The smile only deepened the sinister impression on his face. "Young brother Wang Lin," Su said, his voice chilling. "This is the cell I oversee. Every prisoner here is carefully selected, and they will be executed in a month. You may cultivate freely here, and it doesn't matter if they all die." Wang Lin's divine sense swept over the area, and he immediately noticed several places guarded by restrictive seals. "Thank you," Wang Lin said, cupping his hands in respect. Su chuckled hoarsely. "There's no need to thank me. If anyone should be thanked, it should be Mo Lihai. He gave me the first 3 levels of the 10 collapse fist technique, which is why I'm allowing you to enter." He shot Wang Lin a meaningful glance, and then turned to enter the dark building. "First 3 levels of 10 collapse fist. Mo Lihai has indeed paid a lot for me this time," Wang Lin muttered, pausing briefly before stepping forward into the massive prison. The place here was arranged in a shape, with rows of prison cells lined up neatly. The moment Wang Lin stepped in, the oppressive atmosphere exploded instantly. Roars and shouts spread like sonic waves, crazily reverberating throughout the space. Wang Lin remained calm, walking past row after row of iron cells. Countless pitch-black hands reached out from the iron bars, seemingly trying to grab him. At the same time, bursts of malicious laughter followed. "Where did this newcomer come from? Come here and let me touch you. It's been over 10 years since I've seen skin so soft and tender. You look just like the whore I killed back in the day. Outsiders, I loved killing people like you the most back then." Behind the iron bars, pairs of blood-red eyes stared at Wang Lin, glowing with a sinister light. The eyes contained all sorts of emotions and desires. Wang Lin coldly looked at these people. They surely weren't always this mad. Having been locked up here for years, they had been corrupted by the killing resentment aura of this place. If their wills weren't strong enough, they would be assimilated by it. Not all the prisoners were roaring. Some remained seated in their cages, silent. "Newcomer, come here." A completely pitch-black figure from one of the cells stretched his hands through the iron bars, beckoning Wang Lin. When he noticed Wang Lin looking at him, the man's throat moved, and he spat a thick glob of phlegm, aiming it directly at Wang Lin. Wang Lin took a step back to avoid the foul-smelling spit. The dark figure laughed loudly, his eyes full of mockery. Wang Lin's expression remained unchanged. He glanced at the man, a faint smile appearing at the corner of his lips. His footsteps, which were about to move on, paused. The fully blackened prisoner shuddered at Wang Lin's smile. For some unknown reason, when he saw it, he suddenly felt a sense of fear. The mocking expression in his eyes faltered, but it was quickly replaced with a murderous glare. Wang Lin extended his right hand, placing it within reach of the man, and said calmly, "Come." The man froze for a moment, instinctively stepping back a few paces, his face darkening. "Come," Wang Lin repeated. At that moment, the surrounding noise and roars grew more intense. Amid the chaos, the dark figure gritted his teeth, his right hand transforming into a claw. He reached through the iron bars, aiming to grab Wang Lin's hand. The instant his hand reached out, Wang Lin's 2 fingers formed a sword, turning into a blur of motion. The fingers landed on the man's palm, and at the same time, a killing aura swiftly entered the man's hand through Wang Lin's fingers. The prisoner's body trembled as he staggered back, convulsing. Black blood leaked from his 7 orifices, and his face twisted in agony, as if enduring immense pain. The roars of the other prisoners intensified, but in that instant, a shrill scream erupted from the man's mouth, cutting through the surrounding noise like a sharp blade, completely overpowering the chaos. In that moment, everyone around stopped roaring. The scream did not cease but continued, carrying a deep sense of fear. Wang Lin remained expressionless, watching as the man in the cage collapsed, twitching. His already emaciated body rapidly shriveled up, turning into a desiccated corpse. The desiccated corpse's mouth hung open, its eyes filled with gray. A wisp of gray gas wafted out from its mouth and returned to Wang Lin's fingers, though this gas was denser than before. It's still the same. Wang Lin frowned. Using the killing aura to kill, it only cultivates energy. To make it split and manifest separately, something is still lacking some insight. Wang Lin mused for a moment, glancing at the desiccated corpse. The man had been of low cultivation and had some restrictions within his body, preventing him from using his full strength. It wasn't just this man. Nearly all the prisoners here were the same. The screams stopped with the man's death, but the prison fell into an eerie silence. However, this silence quickly broke, and once again, the violence surged, more ferocious than before. Wang Lin moved toward the next cell. The man inside revealed a bloodthirsty smile, licking his lips, then stepped back a few paces, keeping his distance from Wang Lin. "Kid, you're cultivating, right? Help me out and kill the guy in the cell opposite me, and I'll cooperate with you fully. How about it?" The man opposite was a burly figure, who scowled. "I've never liked him, kid. Kill him, and I'll fully cooperate with you. It doesn't matter in this hellhole. I'd rather die and be reborn." Wang Lin didn't speak. With his right hand, he made two quick, precise points in the air. Both men's foreheads immediately bloomed with a spot of bright red, which rapidly spread. Both men collapsed almost simultaneously, though in their eyes, there was a trace of relief. From the moment Wang Lin entered this place, he clearly sensed that the killing resentment aura here was also tainted with a faint aura of death energy. Initially, he thought this deathly energy was caused by the numerous deaths, but as he walked deeper into this prison, he suddenly realized that this death energy emanated from the prisoners held here. They all had one thing in common, a deep desire for death. Yet many lacked the courage to end their own lives. When the two prisoners fell, Wang Lin focused his gaze, examining them closely. He hadn't used slaughter chi on them, and their bodies were intact, showing no signs of decay. However, there was a strange aura around them that soon disappeared. Wang Lin's eyes flickered as he felt he had grasped something, but upon further thought, it seemed elusive and unclear. "I've been practicing the slaughter immortal art, refining life energy, and imprinting souls for a long time. I've thought about it many times. It always feels like I almost understand, yet sometimes it's still hazy," Wang Lin muttered as he grabbed the body of the burly man and dragged it closer to the iron bars. Wang Lin squatted down and carefully pressed his right hand against the blood hole on the man's forehead, closely inspecting it. His brow furrowed more and more, and after a long while, Wang Lin sighed and stood up, walking toward the next cell. With every step Wang Lin took, one prisoner after another perished. For every life he took, Wang Lin spent a long time observing their bodies, contemplating and analyzing. 5 days later, more than half of the over 1,000 prisoners in this cell had died. A thick death energy permeated the air, lingering and refusing to dissipate. After observing nearly 1,000 bodies, Wang Lin's heart began to gain some understanding, but it still felt distant and intangible, like it was veiled, just out of reach. "What's the missing piece?" Wang Lin muttered to himself. "Because you haven't killed enough. Because your killing intent isn't strong enough." A man named Su, who had been watching from a black room, stepped out and looked at Wang Lin with a slightly different expression. Wang Lin lifted his head to meet Su's gaze, but said nothing. "The technique you're practicing, I don't know the specifics, but it must be related to slaughter. That's why you're here to train. However, you've chosen the wrong place. Here, you can't generate enough killing intent. Without that, there's no real slaughter chi. I've noticed that even though you've killed many over the past 5 days, you seem more focused on research. Sometimes, no amount of research can compare to truly immersing yourself in slaughter, experiencing the thrill, and feeling the killing intent." Su said flatly. Wang Lin's gaze sharpened. "I practice the slaughter demon path." Su continued, his eyes fixed on Wang Lin. "There are 10 prison wardens in this blood prison, and among them, only I practice the slaughter demon path. I temper my heart through killing, and I transform my heart into a demon. Watch closely and witness my killing intent." With that, Su's eyes suddenly turned cold. No killing aura emerged, but Wang Lin could sense that something had changed in the air. Even without the obvious killing intent, his body instinctively reacted, the hairs on his body standing on end, as if a dangerous feeling had immediately spread within his mind. Su radiated an unknown aura that remained hidden, yet it was terrifying. The sword that's about to leave its sheath, the coldness, though pressing, still lacks the depth compared to a sword that hasn't been drawn yet. True killing intent is like that sword. If you want to truly learn about slaughter, I can take you to a place where you should be able to experience true killing." Su said slowly. "What's the condition?" Wang Lin asked, his gaze never leaving Su. Su's eyes flashed with appreciation. "Help me kill the demon General Shishao. You don't need to ask why. With my killing intent, I can fight him evenly in a direct confrontation, but if I strike from the shadows, I'm confident in my success. However, I am restricted and cannot leave this blood prison, and he will never step foot in this place. So, if you help me kill him, I'll help you refine your slaughter technique. But there's another condition. You must kill him using the slaughter art you've mastered. Let him die under the slaughter divine art." Su's eyes flashed with a deep hatred. "If I truly complete my practice of slaughter, your condition is acceptable." Wang Lin said calmly, though he left something unsaid. "Follow me." Su grinned darkly and turned to walk ahead. The 10 prisons in the blood prison are just the surface. The true purpose of the 4 great prisons of Celestial Demon City is to feed the Imperial Sword with the slaughter chi it generates. Therefore, the deepest level of this prison is the place you need to enter. Only there can you truly comprehend the killing intent. Wang Lin followed Su, walking out of the prison and down another staircase. This staircase seemed endless as they passed through more cells, but Su didn't stop, simply passing through them all. For a long time, as Wang Lin descended, a strong stench of blood suddenly hit him, accompanied by an overwhelming killing intent that was 100, even 1,000 times stronger than above. In the passage where the steps were, ahead was no longer darkness, but the faint glow of blood illuminating the surroundings. "I've broken the rules by bringing you here. You must not speak of this to anyone, not even to Mo Lihai. This place was created by the demon sovereign himself, and over the years, it has accumulated so much killing intent that it can influence the heart. Once inside, don't try to resist. Simply calm your mind and experience the gathering of that killing intent." The man with the surname Su said in a calm tone. Wang Lin remained silent for a moment, then glanced at the man. He could feel it. This place was indeed filled with boundless slaughter. Here, the killing aura would certainly be of immense benefit to him. Before even getting close, the killing aura within the gaps of his fingers had already begun to swirl faster on its own. The gray mist subtly trembled. This trembling was not out of fear, but out of killing intent. Sensing the change in the gray mist, Wang Lin stepped forward, entering the blood-glowing passage. Step by step, he descended the stairs. Wang Lin, with his astute mind, only half acknowledged the man's words. The main reason he had chosen to enter was the peculiar tremor in the killing aura. The ability to trigger changes in the killing aura. This place will surely help me perfect the slaughter immortal art. Wang Lin did not turn back. His figure disappeared into the depths of the stairs. To gain something, one must be prepared to lose. This must be done, Wang Lin muttered to himself as he continued descending. After walking for the time it took to burn an incense stick, the blood light ahead grew even stronger. At the deepest part of the stairs, there lay a world drenched in blood. It was vast. On the ground, layers of thick bloodstains were everywhere, a chilling sight. Looking around, the place seemed boundless, clearly an independent space and not actually beneath the celestial demon city. In this world, there were numerous blood pools scattered across the land. In each pool, people were half submerged, sitting cross-legged with their eyes closed. On their bodies, hideous wounds twisted unnaturally, as though they were alive. As Wang Lin entered, 5 strands of killing aura flew out from his fingers, swirling around him, emitting excited howling sounds. Taking a deep breath, the blood-tainted air filled his lungs. instantly transforming into killing intent that spread throughout his body. His gaze flashed, and with a single step, he moved to the edge of one blood pool. After a brief hesitation, he stepped in and sat cross-legged. As his body sank halfway into the blood pool, intense killing auras surged from the pool, entering his body and spreading throughout. With each breath, Wang Lin's killing intent deepened. With every exhale, more killing energy from the pool entered his body. Gradually, Wang Lin's eyes turned red. The 5 strands of killing aura surrounding him began to howl louder, as if responding to his growing killing intent. The killing aura inside him grew fiercer. Initially, he resisted using his immortal power, but after a moment's thought, he decided to let go of his defenses and allowed the killing intent to flow freely through him. He didn't know how long it had been, but suddenly, everyone in the blood pools, as if synchronizing, opened their eyes. Waves of unimaginable killing intent exploded outward. The outburst of killing intent immediately engulfed the entire blood-drenched world, and soon after, one by one, the people in the blood pool soared into the air, howling and roaring with killing intent. Without exception, all their eyes were blood-red. Kill! 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 The roars echoed as the people who had risen immediately attacked those around them. Their strikes were filled with boundless killing intent. The blood pools contained nearly 1,000 people, and Wang Lin had sensed their presence earlier. Now, the chaos of fighting erupted, and the killing intent surged like a flood. Wang Lin's eyes were completely bloodshot. At this moment, his mind was locked into one thing: kill. In this place, if he didn't kill, he would be killed. This was a battlefield of slaughter. His body drenched in blood, Wang Lin seemed tireless, cutting through his enemies with a single glance. He would immediately charge at anyone he saw, even using self-destructive techniques without hesitation. Those who were killed didn't truly die. Instead, the formation of this place revived them within the blood pools. They were no longer human, but tools providing more killing aura. The killing energy generated between them would be absorbed by the sky, its whereabouts unknown. After a long time, the massacre gradually came to an end. In the end, over 100 survivors remained, their bodies drenched in the aura of slaughter. Their eyes were bloodshot, devoid of any rationality. Among them, including Wang Lin, there were more than 100 people. The slaughter ended silently. The remaining individuals were all immersed in a dense killing aura, with a thick blood-red mist surrounding them, at least 10 yards deep. Without sparing a glance at one another, they scattered in midair, each heading toward a blood pool to submerge into it. Once someone chose a blood pool, those previously revived within would immediately disperse and vacate the entire pool for the newcomer. Wang Lin's eyes were blood-red. Surrounded by a blood-red mist over 10 yards thick, he descended into a blood pool. As soon as he landed, more than 10 people already present in the pool stood up and quickly left. In their bloodshot eyes, a trace of awe flashed. Wang Lin sat cross-legged alone in the blood pool, closing his eyes. After a long time, he opened them again, and the blood color gradually faded, replaced by clarity. The killing intent that the man named Su spoke of, what I see is the heart of slaughter. Only with the heart of slaughter can one refine the slaughter chi. Without it, it's extremely difficult to refine the slaughter chi. My previous successes were mere coincidences. Wang Lin took a deep breath, closed his eyes again, and immersed himself in the blood-red world, contemplating the heart of slaughter. Time passed. In this blood-colored world, slaughter began anew. Everyone ascended again, and the killing began once more. Such slaughter would take place multiple times each day in this blood-colored world. Each time, many would perish, while only a few individuals would have their blood-red mist grow ever thicker. A day quickly passed. During this day, there were 4 bouts of slaughter. Wang Lin endured until the end each time, but the blood-red mist surrounding him only reached several dozen yards thick. Although that was considerable, there was a black-haired man whose killing aura was 100 yards thick. Floating in midair, he looked like a king. After the last massacre, this king-like youth suddenly raised his head and roared toward the sky. As his voice reverberated, the blood-red mist surrounding his body surged and rolled. At that moment, a silver lightning bolt streaked across the sky, and a silver evil dragon suddenly appeared. Its cold, Emotionless gaze swept over the scene, and then it sucked in sharply. With this suction, all the blood-red mist from the people below immediately detached from their bodies and flew up toward the dragon, being swallowed whole. The king-like youth roared and shot toward the silver dragon. However, as soon as he reached a height of 1,000 feet, the dragon turned its head. A silver flash flickered in its eyes, and the youth's body instantly collapsed, his blood and flesh scattering. He fell from the sky, his killing aura absorbed by the dragon. The silver dragon then vanished. At the moment the silver dragon disappeared, clarity appeared in Wang Lin's eyes. He understood that the silver dragon was probably the demon emperor's sword that the man named Su had spoken of. The killing aura in this place, transformed into the blood-red mist, was the food for this demon's sword. As for the black-haired youth, though he died, he was revived in a blood pool. His killing aura had vanished, leaving him as if he were an ordinary mortal. To reach his previous level, he would need to rise again. After a day's slaughter, the place fell into silence. Wang Lin sat in the blood pool, contemplating the heart of slaughter. Back when I learned the slaughter immortal art, the person had said that because my mental state was the cycle of life and death, I could practice this slaughter immortal art. Now, I finally understand what that meant. Waves of killing intent rapidly entered his body from the blood pool. However, there are still some details that remain unclear. The connection between the slaughter immortal art and the cycle of life and death. Wang Lin fell silent. A night passed, and on the second day, the killing began again. Here, the cycle repeated. Wang Lin was immersed in the slaughter, unaware of how much time had passed. His killing intent grew heavier and thicker with each passing moment. Endless slaughter, endless absorption of killing intent. Gradually, Wang Lin comprehended the heart of slaughter. The Battle of Slaughter began with over 100 people floating in midair. Now, after Wang Lin killed one with a single finger, his eyes flashed blood red, and a bloodthirsty aura swept across the sky. In an instant, only 50 people remained. The 50 did not continue to fight each other but dispersed, each occupying a blood pool to meditate in silence. By this time, after a day of slaughter, the blood-red mist surrounding Wang Lin had reached 50 yards thick. Time passed again, but no one knew how much time had passed. Another round of slaughter began. After it ended, Wang Lin howled toward the sky. There were fewer than 20 people left in the sky, and the blood-red mist around Wang Lin had reached 70 yards thick. Not just him, but the others too, had mist several dozen yards thick surrounding them. One day, in this blood-colored time, even Wang Lin occasionally showed signs of clarity. But he didn't know how much time had passed. If not for the 5 streams of killing intent, he had transformed into the seal of life that now pervaded his entire body. Wang Lin believed he would have died many times over in this place. With the seal of life spreading across his body, Wang Lin became more powerful, gradually emerging from the shadows of the killings one after another. On this day, after the last battle of the day ended, there were only 2 people standing in the entire sky. One of them was Wang Lin. The blood-colored mist of slaughter surrounding his body spread out for hundreds of feet, and from a distance, he looked like a blood-red sun. In front of him, the black-haired young man who had first appeared earlier climbed to the peak once again. The blood mist around his body was no less intense than Wang Lin's. In fact, it was even more overwhelming. At that moment, silver light appeared in the sky again, and the silver dragon descended. Its cold, indifferent gaze swept over Wang Lin and the black-haired young man. It then inhaled sharply. The black-haired young man roared once more, his body charging forward, heading straight for the silver dragon. The silver dragon's eyes revealed a rare trace of mockery, and its enormous claws came down with immense force. At that instant, it felt as if the heavens were collapsing. The black-haired youth's body let out several explosive sounds, instantly transforming into a mass of blood and flesh. But in the moment he became flesh and blood, a trace of blood mist around his body immediately entered his body. Then, the young man died. At the same time, in a blood pool on the ground, the black-haired youth was revived. His killing aura vanished, and he sat down cross-legged, not even sparing a glance at the sky. At this moment, the silver dragon shifted its gaze to Wang Lin. Without hesitation, Wang Lin released the blood mist, his body descending as the mist lingered in the air, absorbed by the silver dragon. The silver dragon vanished, and Wang Lin landed on the ground. He looked at the spot where the silver dragon had disappeared, his eyes gradually becoming clearer. Casually, he walked over to a nearby blood pool. A few people within the pool immediately stood up and quickly left. Wang Lin sat alone in the blood pool, his eyes remaining clear. A faint smile gradually appeared on his face, growing wider until it erupted into a loud laugh. His laughter echoed through the blood-colored world, but no one paid him any attention. They were all absorbing the killing intent. The Slaughter Immortal art uses killing intent to take lives and refine life force into a seal. This is the way from death to life, aligning with the Tao of reincarnation. By taking one life, a seal of life is formed. In reality, this is the cycle of life and death, the transformation between life and death. The silver dragon's absorption of the killing mist was the same, transforming it into life force within its body. The array formations in this blood-colored world also operated on the same principle. So this is how it works. Wang Lin's eyes glinted with enlightenment. The moment he understood, 5 streams of gray killing intent immediately emerged from the seal of life within his body, rapidly converging and intertwining in front of his chest, forming a gray vortex. The vortex spun rapidly, gradually merging into Wang Lin's chest, disappearing from sight. At that instant, Wang Lin's aura changed drastically. A killing presence that had never been felt in this blood-colored world exploded from his body. At that moment, everyone in the blood pools of the blood-colored world opened their eyes in unison, all staring at Wang Lin. Killing intent. Wang Lin's voice echoed throughout the blood-colored world. As the aura of the Slaughter Immortal art spread, a series of explosive sounds emanated from the nearest blood pools to Wang Lin. Figures that had died countless times and been revived each time immediately collapsed, their bodies shattered. Waves of gray mist poured from their broken bodies, forming killing intent. In an instant, over 100 streams of killing intent materialized, swirling around Wang Lin like gray wraiths. But it didn't end there. Then, centered on Wang Lin's location, the bodies of everyone in the blood pools collapsed into gray mist. The entire blood-colored world began to collapse on a massive scale at that moment. Streams of gray mist surged and gathered, turning into killing intent, spiraling around Wang Lin. Everyone who collapsed did not revive this time. They were truly dead. In the moment of their collapse, their eyes revealed a clarity they hadn't shown in countless years, a clarity tinged with a sense of liberation. The entire blood-colored world trembled with thundering sounds, gray mist billowing. In the distance, the black-haired young man suddenly looked up. His eyes were blood-red, and a faint blood-colored mist appeared around him. He growled lowly, gritting his teeth, becoming the only one who didn't collapse into killing intent. 3,792 streams of gray mist danced around Wang Lin in the sky. Wang Lin stood up from the blood pool. At this moment, in the entire blood-colored world, only he and the black-haired young man remained. A sudden thunderclap echoed from the sky, and as the lightning flashed, it transformed once again into the silver dragon. The dragon soared away, only to return, its enormous eyes fixed on Wang Lin, a murderous intent surging forth.